Until that time, honestly speaking, I never had a chance to associate personally with any Westerners. Wow. I'm from a countryside, so I never seen, real white people or black people or Hispanic people. Well, I never. So I remember when I arrived at the UTS, first time from the airport, some white brother and black sister came to me and speak to me. I was so nervous. I couldn't speak. Yeah, but during the UTS time, besides my, theological study, I learned a lot about the cultural difference, especially between East and West. I want to share a couple of stories, my stories. One day at the UTS, I tried to borrow a notebook from my friend. He was a friend, but we are not so close. Before I had a couple words exchanged, but basically we just know the face. So I approached casually and I started like, hi, how are you? How are you doing? And I talk about weather, just like an Englishman does. And then I mentioned about music, movie, and also currency exchange rate, because I was an international student. Until finally I said, can I borrow your notebook? He smiled and passed me his notebook kindly, but he said, it's not necessary to put a long introduction before revealing your purpose of visit. In America, you can just honestly share what you want and explain why you need it. Well, anyway, just a small difference, but to me it was eye-opening actually. Well, the speaking style is different. Well, another example, it's much deeper actually. It's from my internship course in San Francisco. I went to San Francisco 1999, and I taken an internship course for 3 months. And at that time, Reverend Kevin Thompson was a state leader, and he was already well known as a great speaker and a preacher. He said he prepared already 27 or 8 topics. And from anything, from the topics, he can talk anything. He's ready to speak. Then he told me very interesting fact. If the audience contains multiple nationalities, each nationality has a different preference of a topic. For instance, Japanese audience listen very well to the story of indemnity and restoration. They repented and shed tears while American brothers suffered on the topic. But when he spoke on the principle of creation topic, such as creativity or uniqueness of the individual or volunteerism, American brothers' eyes are sparkling, but not much response from Japanese brothers. As for uniqueness, fundamentally, Japanese want to be same as others, not different from others, not unique. And they don't volunteer easily. Basically, they want the leader to tell them what to do. Do you have such experience? Why like this? Have you ever think about that? Why like this? Let me quickly explain. Japan is a small island country, the same size as the state of Montana. Montana is the 4th largest state in America. First one is Alaska, second one is Texas, third is California, and Montana, the great state. Although I never been to, but. But Japan is the same size of the state of Montana. And actually, 80% of Japan is mountains. So, food. The rice is most important food. But just Japanese people can use 20% of land for agriculture. So obviously, so tight. So therefore, in the village, everybody must cooperate. You cannot be outstanding. You cannot do something different from others. Therefore, it is better for Japanese to behave the same way other people do. As for the tendency to enjoy hearing the indemnity and the restoration story, I think Buddhism's influence is very big. The Buddhist worldview is quite different from Christian viewpoint. They see the world as the world of suffering. Life is full of suffering and pain. One of the biggest Buddhist themes is how to end this suffering. First, you have to accept the reality, suffering reality, as it is, and deny all your desire, because desire leads to greed and attachment. And attachment causes suffering. So, therefore, and also, they believe cause and effect. Everything has happened because of some cause. So naturally, a typical Japanese thinking is that your ongoing suffering results from the misdeeds in your previous life or from the mistakes of your ancestors. If you accept and endure the suffering, and try to do good things to redeem your sins, then your problem will disappear. Generally speaking, Japanese people have great patience, but it doesn't mean they have happy and enjoyable life. Well, loving life liberated me, actually, from that concept. You know, the cultural background gives a huge impact to the life of faith. So I used to think my life of faith must be suffering. If there is no suffering, it must be wrong. Something wrong. So, I used to think I must endure. I couldn't think my life of faith could be enjoyable. And also by denying your desires, you will become passive. So it is not easy for Japanese to volunteer for something. I was the same before. When I had the opportunity to be a volunteer, first I wondered, am I the right person to do the job? I'm not sure. And I used to think myself, or I used to find myself more excited and more empowered when I was told by a leader, please take care of this, please do this. Here my sense of mission rise. Oh yes, this is my mission, I gotta do. Well, it's nothing wrong, but however, loving life was revolutionary to me. Because my cultural background, I didn't understand loving life's emphasis on volunteering, in the beginning especially. But now I can see, even divine principle, if you look at, in the beginning it stated, your good desire leads you to joy and happiness. Your wicked, evil desire to misfortune. So, to volunteer for something, first you need a good desire. But even you have a good desire, but if you don't practice it, you can't experience joy and happiness. So loving life provides a lot of volunteering opportunity. So please take it. if you can, see local pastors. You can volunteer. It's a great training ground for our spiritual growth. And the Injinim appointed me as a district pastor in August 2010, 2 years ago. If it were a few years earlier, I wouldn't have accepted. I would think, well, I'm not worthy. Somebody's better. Somehow I have a strong concept. And the concept was, Japanese shouldn't be a leader. Either Korean or American should be chosen. And Japanese should be just assistant. So I had such a concept. But through hearing Injinim's message every week, over and over again, I gradually realized that every child is equally God's child. Therefore, opportunity will be provided regardless of nationality, race, even gender. Well, that's why you see many kinds of leaders at the Loving Life Ministries. And honestly speaking, yeah, I have to confess, actually I repented greatly because I realized that I was kind of racist toward myself. Because otherwise, why I can say I cannot be a leader? I'm judging myself by nationality alone.